Good morning. Great morning. A great morning to be alive. Yes. So, you know who I am, Edwina B. And I believe in transparency, y'all. And so I come to you just the way I am before I go on at 6:45 to give the AA message for today. Because oftentimes I want you to listen to the message and not look at the messenger, right? So I'm going to share my testimony through song every morning before I deliver the AA Daily Reflection reading from my perspective. So here it is. All right. All right, let's go, y'all, huh? I got my teeth right here. I'm going to take that off, but listen, it's about transparency. Here we go. Woo! Won't he do it? God did it. Everything that happened to me. God did it. Woo! Good morning, good morning, good morning, great morning. God woke you up this morning, woke me up this morning, although I was a little bit late to hear my prophetess Tamika Strickland, but thank God for replay. But I got a chance to hear my beautiful sister Hope Winchester. Yeah, so that's another meditation, a Bible reading instructions that I can add to my morning meditation. And then I ended with A.J. Hardy, right? So when we wake up this morning, every morning, we need to give him praise because it was God who did it. Not the alarm clock, not the trash truck. It was God. Woo! Didn't always know that, didn't always believe that, right? But I believe it 31 years later in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous. So, no, I do not represent Alcoholics Anonymous, but I've been a proud, humble, and grateful member for over 31 plus years. And if God sees fit to allow me to wake up on February the 23rd of 2022, we will be celebrating 32 years in recovery. And guess what? It doesn't happen, and it didn't happen overnight. Huh? You see how the topic falls right in with my yielding to the Spirit and giving God all the praise because it was God who did it. Whether you believe in him or not, that's okay. I got enough belief in me to help you. All right. All right. So, Alcoholics Anonymous daily reflection is something that when I go to my 12-step meeting every day, and if you go to a 12-step meeting, you too may have a daily reading that helps you hone in and give you a topic for today to kind of resonate in your spirit why you were saved, why you were delivered from any and all things so that you can be of service to others. And as Hope Winchester said, one person. Thank you, Hope. Thank you, Hope. Thank you, A.J. Hardy, because he talked about purging. He talked about confession to heal. You know, that's why I thank God that he prepares people for things yet to come, but he prepares people just to help one more. One more. If you keep your expectations real low and your acceptance level high, all you need to do is just touch one. Oh my God. Because one person touched me at that rehab. When she got up there and she shared her experience, strength, and hope, and she told the honest, godly truth. AJ, she told what she did, how she did it, how she felt when she was doing it. I said, oh my God, Lord, if you keep me sober long enough, I want to be able to share just like her. Yes, so that's why, listen, I'm as transparent can be. Some people say I'm too transparent, but that's okay. So when we go to our meetings every day, one way, shape, form, or fashion, we get a daily reading that helps feed our spiritual growth, that gives us additional wisdom, that reminds us where we came from, and also to stay in the journey. Hope talked about that, the journey. Yes, And Donald Lawrence says it so eloquently. You are not a natural being having a spiritual experience. As Hope said, we were born in the flesh, right? But it was God who put in us that spirit of his, that he made us, he created us. We are unique in that way only because he gave each and every one of us a unique spirit for his purpose, for his glorification, to be prepared for things yet to come, to let people know you will have a knee bowing experience and I need somebody to share theirs. Well, here I am. Okay. So let's get to the topic today. It says it doesn't happen overnight. So I want you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, take a sip of your coffee. And I want you to hear what I'm reading to you, okay? So be obedient. Just practice. You can keep one eye open. I don't know, but I say it for a reason. Sometimes when we read things, we're not hearing because we're concentrating on the words. But if I can have somebody read to me, like back in the day, I saw on TV where parents read stories to their children at bedtime. Didn't happen in my family, right? But I saw that when reading to them, they would get relaxed and they would eventually fall asleep because they are listening, they are hearing. So that's why I ask you to close your eyes just this one time, and then we're going to open them and then we're going to read it together, okay? So here go the reading for January the 13th. It didn't happen overnight. Close your eyes. January the 13th. It doesn't happen overnight. We are not cured of alcoholism. What we really have is a daily reprieve contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition. This is from Alcoholics Anonymous, Big Book, page 85. And the writer states, the most common alcoholic fantasy seems to be, if I just don't drink, everything will be all right. Once the fog cleared for me, I saw for the first time the mess my life had become. I had family, work, financial, and legal problems. I was hung up on old religious ideas. There were sides of my character to which I was inclined to stay blind because they easily could have convinced me that I was hopeless and pushed me toward escape again. The Big Book guided me in resolving all of my problems, but it didn't happen overnight, and certainly not automatically. With no effort on my part, I need always to recognize God's mercy and blessings that shine through any problem I have to face. Open your eyes, huh? You see the topic? You see the topic? It didn't happen overnight, right? It didn't happen overnight. And so one of the things that I want to share with you is when we look at someone who is struggling, when we look at even ourselves who are struggling, it just didn't happen simultaneously just like that. Huh? And so let's marinate. Let's read together what it is saying and listen as you read to every word, okay? And I will interject my perspective once we are done, okay? So here it is, all right? It says, I'm gonna put it up big for you, I don't care. It doesn't happen overnight. We are not cured of alcoholism. What we really have is a daily reprieve contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition. This is from Alcoholics Anonymous, page 85. So go back to that chapter, go back to that page and read the whole narrative to get the full implication of what it is saying. And so the writer reads, a recovering alcoholic, the most common alcoholic fantasy seems to be, if I just don't drink, everything will be all right. Once the fall cleared for me, I saw for the first time the mess my life had become. I had family, work, financial, and legal problems. I was hung up on old religious ideas. There were sides of my character to which I was inclined to stay blind because they easily could have convinced me that I was hopeless and pushed me toward escape again. The big book guided me in resolving all of my problems, but it didn't happen overnight, right? And certainly not automatically with no effort on my part. I need always to recognize God's mercy and blessings that shine through any problem I face, that I have to face. And so let me give you my perspective, okay? So, how many of you can grasp with some examples it didn't happen overnight, okay? And listen, some of you may have to have tangible experiences, and that's how I am. Sometimes I'm from Missouri, not literally, but you have to give me something tangible that I can see, I can feel, I can touch, I can smell. I don't know why it is, but sometimes we are visual people. And so let's visualize things that doesn't or didn't happen overnight. Hope this morning talked about the delivery of a baby, right? And once that baby came out, they had to tap that little butt to help him to cry, right? Well, that wasn't the start of that baby, was it? And it sure enough didn't happen overnight. So tangibly, that baby was in the body of the woman. The womb. The uterus was the house of that baby, connected by the umbilical cord, right? That didn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen overnight. So let's go back 9 months earlier, right? Two people got together, man and woman, right? Or artificial impregnation, okay, right? But stay with me. So two people got together and they engaged, right, in intercourse, or they got impregnated by artificial insemination, right? Okay, but stay with me, right? And so through that process, that didn't even happen overnight. It didn't happen automatically. It was a journey. It was a process, right? So let's talk about the two people, right? Now, it could have been a one-night stand. Yes, it could have been a relationship. It could have been a planned pregnancy. It could have been what they call an accident. Not in God's eyes, right? Because he uses every vessel, every vehicle, yes, to put a spirit of him in. No matter what it is, he is the giver and taker of life. And that is the spirit, not the physical manifestation, right? Not the vehicle. He's responsible for the spirit, right? So when we talk about it doesn't happen overnight, so guess what? They engage, and I don't know, didn't right away. They didn't know what, right? But some people have this sixth sense, right? And they say, "Ugh, I'm pregnant," right? The man may say, like he gets that sense. Well, he won't know. He won't know right away because it doesn't happen overnight. right? And so guess what? The woman and or the man go through physical stages, right? And so the woman, the first thing may happen to her, she may miss her period. Or she may start craving something, or she get morning sickness, right? The man that I had the abortion with, right, as a prostitute, he told me, he came to me and said, Weena, are you pregnant? No. He said, because all the other pregnancies, I would always get this back pain. You sure you're not pregnant? And so our body lets us know that our offspring, right? That seed is growing somewhere. That seed has been released. That seed has been implanted. But it didn't happen overnight. And so you get my drift about it doesn't happen overnight. From the time of the courtship to the time of sexual intercourse, could have been 1, 3, 20, 30 times, I don't know. At the process of artificial insemination, right? The process began, the journey began, and it didn't happen overnight. Let's even go back further. Who made it all possible? The Creator himself. The Creator himself made us, this living soul, even possible. Giving us this physical body. Yes, way back. We are here in his image. Wow. So you see how it doesn't happen overnight. So when you get into recovery, that's the whole purpose of going back. Not to find out what's wrong, but to find out what happened, right? To find out what your part you played in it, to find out what part they played in it, like what happened. Not what's wrong, but what happened. And so that's why I have this thirst for knowledge. I have this thirst to know, my God, because I want to know why I was born. I want to know what happened for God to give me this gift. What happened that I deserve this? Oh, because Hope knows and AJ Hardy knows, that some of us did not make it out that world of addiction. Some of us won't, but some of us have. And it was for a reason, because God knows our spirit. He knows what he has preparing us for, is preparing us for, and it doesn't happen overnight. So the fact that we had to go through what we had to go through to get through, to be on this other side, because everything that happened to me, God did it. Both good and bad, it works in all our favor, right? All right, so now you see what I mean? Okay, all right, so let's get back to the saying. All right, so it says here, all right, let's add it here. It says, we are not cured of alcoholism. Can I stay there for a moment? We are not cured of alcoholism. Did you hear that? I understand about deliverance, and I understand about, the spiritual realm wants to live. I understand all of that. But from my own experience and the experience of others, we need to hear and we need to listen that the enemy has orchestrated this disease of alcoholism that is incurable. I cannot drink again, even if I wanted to. And guess what? I don't want to, because I know, I did my research that I suffer from the disease of alcoholism that is incurable on this earthly journey. Did you hear what I said? On this earthly journey. Incurable. So what do I have to do on this earthly journey, right? To understand that I suffer from a fatal disease, that if I ever drink again, I could die. A physical death. Yes. So be coming to this fellowship for over 31 plus years, I get in touch with what these words mean, right? What these words mean. And it says here, right, that we are not cured of alcoholism. If I was to pick up a drink today, I will only pick up where I left off from. It might not be right away, and it might not happen overnight, but eventually I will be back where I started from. So get in touch with the disease of alcoholism, right? And if you have the disease like I do, we know that it is incurable. We have had many tangible examples, experiences of that being true. But listen to the next sentence. What we really have, did you hear that? What we really have is a daily reprieve, contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition. This is one of my favorite sayings, and this is in it's called the 10th step axiom, right? Spiritual axiom. Right? I know that I have an incurable disease of alcoholism. And that's why, in the Lord's Prayer, it says, give us this day our daily bread. So that means that I only have a daily reprieve from my disease of alcoholism. If I don't pick up today, right? Today, then I have accomplished one more day sober. But there's something that doesn't happen overnight. Why? Why do I not pick up one day? Why do I not pick up a drink one day at a time? Why? What keeps me from doing that, right? And it says it here. It says it here. What we really have is a daily reprieve. Do you know what reprieve mean? But let me help you, okay? Hey Siri, what does reprieve mean?
Okay, I found this on the web for what does reprieve mean? Check it out.
It says here, reprieve, right? Come on now. If you ever heard the phrase one day at a time, you may have wondered exactly what that means in recovery. At face value, it seems quite simple. We don't drink or use drugs during our day without considering whether we will or will not tomorrow, right? And so it says here, however, one day at a time is more complex and requires incorporating a daily reprieve, right? A daily reprieve. So when we talk about, what it means to have a daily reprieve, is that today we are not going to drink, right? We today, this hour, this minute, this second, in this present situation, we are not going to drink, because I know I suffer from a disease that is fatal and is incurable. So what I have is a daily reprieve. It is arrested just for today. But What we really have is a daily reprieve, what? Contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition. Oh boy, I couldn't wait to get to that part, right? What we have is a daily reprieve, right? Contingent on the maintenance, based on the maintenance, provided we offer maintenance on what? Our spiritual condition. Okay, so you're from Missouri. What do you mean, Edwina? Okay, so how many of you have cars, right? I had a couple of them, right? And listen, I blew an engine one time because I kept driving it, and nobody told me to put oil in it. I didn't know to put oil in it, and so guess what? I blew the engine, right? So you get my drift. So when you have a car, okay, and I shared it the other morning, if you have a car, it needs maintenance, right, in order to run efficiently and effectively, right? So how many of y'all maintain y'all cars more so than your spiritual condition? How many of y'all get your oil checked every 3,000 or 6,000 miles? How many of y'all go to the gas station and check your tires and make sure they 32, 35, 36? I don't know. How many of y'all look at the little lights on the panel and it says low on fuel? This, If you don't pay attention, what will happen? And so when we are in Alcoholics Anonymous, right, we have these 12 spiritual principles, these 12 spiritual traditions, we have these 12 spiritual concepts, right? And that is the maintenance that we use and apply to sustain, increase our spiritual condition, even measuring it. Because every day we come across situations and things that we don't know what's going to make us go left when we know we need to go right. We don't know if I'm going to give you the finger or I'm going to pray for you, right? It depends on the maintenance of my spiritual condition. So the fact that I'm sharing with you this morning, I am adding spiritual food to my spirituality, because I know I have an incurable disease, right? So maintenance, that's why I go to my meetings every day in one way, shape, form, or fashion, COVID or no COVID. I get on that speakerphone, I get on. Why? Because I am providing maintenance, right, on my spiritual condition. Because if I don't, and I stay away from the meetings, and I stay away from help, and I stay away from the fellowship, and I stay away. The more I stay away, the more Edwina comes back. No, I need to keep Edwina at bay. Yes. And so while me going to my meetings, that's the maintenance is one. Another maintenance that I put on my recovery is I engage in the reflection reading for the day, right? And you see that it reminds me that this thing called recovery doesn't happen overnight, right? And that I need to be patient with myself. I need to be patient with the process. Okay, so you get my drift, right? So I tell you, I get into it, right? So remember, right, what we have is a daily reprieve contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition. Okay, so let's see what the writer reads. The most common alcoholic fantasy seems to be, if I just don't drink, everything will be all right. Well, it's not just about drinking. Once we put down the drink, it's about our thinking. Once we put down the drink, it becomes about our thinking. So when we are restored to sanity, that only means soundness of mind. So when the fog, right, clears from me, for the first time, we see the mess that we have made of our life. And that's where Hope talked about the unmanageability in the first step. But how can we see that if we don't put down the drink first, right? And we are involved in a spiritual fellowship that helps us to recognize the things that we did that were insane. And so once the fall clear, we can see for the first time clearly how we have made our lives unmanageable, right? And then he says, I had family, work, financial, and legal problems, right? I was hung up on old religious ideas. See, I'm glad it said that, because I had a problem thinking spirituality and religion were the same thing, and they're not. Religion is man-made, right? Spirituality is God-given, the spirit, right? We are made in the image of him, right? We are spiritual, right? And so that's what kept me from going to the church and this and that, because I know I had a yearning for this spiritual awareness, right? But when I looked at religion, it was all messed up. People fighting, pastors tricking, people listen, right? And so I was hung up on old religious ideas, right? There were sides of my character to which I was inclined to stay blind. Right? Yes, I can be very promiscuous. I can be very flirtatious. Do you hear the word can be? That means God has not ultimately made me white as snow. I am still defective, but I am making progress in all those areas. Oh, yes, I am. Okay. Oh man, I'm over time. Okay. And then it says here, these blind spots, right? If I ignored them, they could easily say to me that, Edwina, you see, you don't need to be in recovery. You're going too fast. You just need to recognize it doesn't happen overnight. All right. And the last thing I want to focus on is on the big book guided me in resolving all of my problems. But it didn't happen overnight, and certainly not automatically with no effort on my part. I need always to recognize God's mercy and blessing that shine through any problem I have today. And so I just want to close by saying this. Everything is a process. Everything has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Some things have the process of being recycled, like the 12 steps. Once I do the 12 steps once, guess what? I learned something, but I need to go through them again to learn more. I need to go through them again to learn even more. I need to go through them again to even what? The more I learn, the more I am patient, the more I am open to spiritual principles, the more I grow. And it doesn't happen overnight. All right. So be blessed. And as you can see, I'm getting better with my COVID-19 that came through my what they call it, lymph nodes, right? And so I want you to please get yourself and your children tested, get vaccinated, get boosted, yeah, wear a mask, social distancing. Listen, a couple years ago, 9 members of my family had COVID-19 and we all survived. Here just recently, a few of my family members had it. I talked to my youngest grandson, mother, and a whole host of her family have it, and the media says everybody, to some extent, majority of us are going to get it. So do your part, do my part, and and leave the outcome to God, but put forth the effort. All right. So be safe, be safe, be safe. Give yourself a break. It didn't happen overnight. It won't happen overnight. But as long as you have the desire to serve God, he will prepare you for things yet to come. His gift to us was sobriety. Our gift to him is to stay sober and help one more alcoholic achieve sobriety. Be safe. Thank you, Lord.